This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Friday, January 16th of 2026, and we are so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I'll be covering a recent donation that was made to food banks across Iowa. Also, I have a check of the closing markets with Kenan Layden of agmarket.net. First, here's that conversation, a very important egg donation made to the Iowa Food Bank Association, and I'm visiting now with their executive director, Katie Sorrell. And Katie, we just saw a great donation of eggs to food banks across Iowa from Versilva and then Rose Acre Farms. And, you know, like we were just talking, a very timely donation. January is a hard month. Really great to continue to see donations like this to benefit food banks, right?
Yes, and eggs are a perfect food, right? You can eat eggs any time of the day. They're culturally familiar, they're protein rich, and they're something that's often really requested at food pantries.
And I think something that's also very beneficial about it being eggs is that they are easy to cook, and a lot of people can cook it. If you are older and maybe your motor skills aren't as great,
right,
you can still cook an egg. Younger kids can still learn to cook eggs as well. So say their parents are out working, they can make breakfast for themselves. It's a beneficial all the way around, and also just a great Iowa product.
A great Iowa product, so we're so thankful for the donation and that it's coming in through the Food Bank of Iowa to all of Iowa's food banks.
So we see donations like this happen throughout the year, and we touched on the timeliness of it happening in January, but how great is it to see these Iowa farmers and producers? They always are out here wanting to make these donations to help those who are in need.
We're so grateful. We're so grateful to Iowa farmers that are donating their products. And last year, the Iowa Food Bank Association and our partner banks, we distributed 61 million meals. So we know there's a big need in Iowa, and we so appreciate farmers that are stepping up to meet that need.
And of course, there's still a long ways to go to fighting food insecurity here in Iowa. We know it continues to grow every year. You know, how is that battle going so far with, continuing to fight that?
Yeah, continuing to fight that. So in Iowa, 1 in 8 Iowans is food insecure, which means they don't know where they're going to get their next meal or the money for the meal, and 1 in 6 Iowa kids. So that's why school meal programs are so important, as well as our food pantries and food banks. So we will continue to supply food and connect with farmers and donations to meet the need in Iowa, but the need is there.
And we know that these donations are going to make it out the door quick. There's high demand. For anyone who wants to make further donations, how can they do that?
Yeah, so the Iowa Food Bank Association, we are composed of the 6 Iowa food banks. So if you go to the Iowa Food Bank Association website, you can learn all about the food banks. But if you want to donate to your local food pantry as well, that's something you can do. So you can donate at the bank level or at the food pantry level. So I would say do a search for what's nearby, and we are always in need of physical donations. So whether that's canned goods or fresh produce or even self-care items, those are important, but also you can donate your time, volunteering, or money.
All right, Katie, thank you so much for the time today, and good luck as you continue to fight food insecurity across the state.
Thanks, Riley.
That again was Katie Sorrell, the executive director of the Iowa Food Bank Association. And we always appreciate getting coverage of those donation events. Time now to take a look at the closing markets, and I'm here with Kenan Layden of agmarket.net for that discussion. Kenan, what do we see going on in the grain markets today?
Positive day across the grain markets ahead of this 3-day weekend. Corn was up, holding that 420 level since the report, so that's good to see. Maybe it's found a bottom there and can try to work higher even after those numbers the USDA gave us. Soybeans inched higher, good day yesterday on them. Same thing there, is maybe found at least a near-term bottom with the information we know now. And wheat was kind of the leader today of the three. No real big news with wheat, but maybe it's just been low enough long enough that ahead of this 3-day weekend, if you've been short, there's maybe some shorts covering. So no real big news items. The RVO news came out yesterday that the administration and the EPA are looking at setting that RVO obligation, which led soy oil higher yesterday and helped with the bean complex, but no big news items today in the grains.
And then with the shortened week next week, probably not too much news that would come out at that point either to move the market. So there should be, theoretically, right, a bit of a quieter period here for a little bit, right?
Uh, you never know that, Riley. China could come in and buy more beans, and then that would send everything into haywire. Or China could buy some U.S. corn, which they haven't done for a few years. So there's always something that could happen, that they could send these markets up or down. But no big USDA reports or anything scheduled for the week that should be a huge market driver after that January report. CFTC reports will come out today after market close too, so that would be something to look at here.
And then over on the livestock side of things, Kenan, what do we see going on in the cattle and hog markets today?
Yeah, cattle are under some pretty decent pressure today. Traded limit down in the feeder contracts at times today. Closed off of limit, which was good to see if you're looking at doing LRP, something of that nature to risk protect here after this rally back we've had. And lives were also down. No big news there that's confirmed. There's rumors swirling about screwworm and how close it is to the border, and if it's in the U.S., but nothing confirmed there. It'd be mostly just some people can attribute it to risk off. If you've been long cattle from the whole way up, a 3-day weekend, taking some risk off in case there is some headline news risk over the weekend. Hogs closed slightly higher today.
All right, Kenan, lots of great information today. For anyone who wants to get in touch with agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Yeah, just check us out on the web at egmarket.net.
All right, Kenan, thanks again for the analysis. As always, we'll talk again soon. Have a great long weekend.
You too. Thanks, Riley.
That again was Kenan Layden of agmarket.net. We'll take a look at how the numbers closed through the market window at iowaagnet.com. At the close, March corn up 4.5 at 4.24 3/4. March soybeans up 4 3/4 at 10.57 3/4. March soybean meal up 80 cents at 2.90 even. March soybean oil down 36 cents at 52.61. Chicago wheat up 7.5 at 5.18 even. Kansas City hard red winter wheat up 10 even at 5.27 1/4. Minneapolis spring wheat up 3 even at 5.65 1/2. March oats up 8 3/4 at 3.02 even. On the Merc, February live cattle down 3.90 at 232.15. March feeders down 8.10 at 356.45. February lean hogs up 47 cents at 88.27. February pork cutout up 15 at 96.27. And February Class 3 milk up 7 cents at 15.07. That's been a check of the markets on Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our daily ag news content on our website at iowaagnet.com. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.